here we go with one of my favorites, the T29 heavy tank, tier 7 American heavy tank. Well, most of the people most likely already know what this tank is all about. For those who don't know, basically we got a gun on a turret that is, aside from the commander scupular, impenetrable, and a hull that is penetrable by everything. Upper front plate by anything, I'd say any beastly tier 6 gun, let's say KV-1S, etc. Anything with lower penetration can easily pen the lower front plate, no problems there. However, 198 penetration, a huge amount of alpha damage, and if this tank is hull down, it's a beast. You can pen it on the copula like I said, but that's about it. What else does it have? It has mobility. As you can see, 33 kilometers power, pretty nice for a heavy tank. And you want to use that, especially on a map like Fisherman's Bay. That's the name, right? Yeah, that's the name. I always get the English and German names and the map names, the file names. I always confuse them. So, what you want to do on this map, even in a heavy tank, especially in a platoon like this, 2 T29s and an IS-2, is rush the city, get close to the enemy as soon as possible, and just ruffle stomp them. Just shock and awe situation. As you can see, my platoon mate here stands around for a while. I'll take the lead. I think the other platoon mate rushes through the upper outskirts of the city. And here we go. Snapshot, bounce, but again, doesn't really matter. Turn around to face him. Take the shot for my friend who's currently not in the mood. Then suddenly IS from behind. Nice reaction by both tankers here. As you can clearly see, IS is now the important threat. Turning around to deal with him. Two really nice snapshots. Firing on the move on this tank is really nice. Works well too. Really bad hit. Take my time shooting here. Sometimes you have to take your time, especially with ISs. You need to hit the front plate in a good way. Otherwise, you'll just bounce. Every now and then, ISs and IS2s do that to you. Nice little shot on the T29 here, and doing the best. Hold down position. I can't really show that to you right now, because as soon as I go too far, there we go, hitting my mantlet. Taking a nice few shots. I think I tracked them. Yeah, there we go. Tracked them there. I could shoot the VKs right now, but they are not really the important targets. However, while reloading, I take the opportunity to have a look. What else could I hit from here? Always a good thing to do. While reloading, think, yeah, I can hit this guy. I can hit this guy. And again, there we go. This guy is almost dead. I don't care about him. I got my allies around me, so really, after taking the shot, I take my mobility and already press forward. There we go, IS-2. Again, I take one shot, use the reload to relocate instead of standing around behind him. Okay, another few fine shots here. Shock and awe situation. This tank, I think, is really nice for that. Because while your hull is kinda, here you see, he fired on my upper front plate, but since he has, I think, the 76 mil, or the 75, I think he has the 76, but he might have the small one. He can't pen me up front unless he hits like either the gun pod, I think, or the lower front plate. Copula, of course, too. Let's have a look here, real quick. So, what did we lose in the city? Not a single tank. What did they lose? Actually, can't really see that. I think that's the IS-2, the IS, T29, couple of tanks. quite a few tanks actually. What did we lose? Hit points. The IS lost half of its hit points, the IS-2, and the KV-3. Oh, that IS-2. We got two T29s with full health, a KV-3 with full health. Mind you, I was on the front lines all the time. I took, I think, 6 hits by now, by tanks that could pen me if they aim carefully. Now we're going on for the last attack, taking out a few more shots. I don't really mind capping all the time, but in this situation I really just wanted to hunt down the last few enemies. Also, I always think someone will cap, right? There's always that guy. Still, I try to keep a look, because what you want to do in a situation like this, where there are a few tanks, enemy tanks left, and you can round them up easily, what you want to do is cap and kill. Because in this situation, if you do only one of them, then it might actually not work out. Again, taking a shot at the AMX, moving out here. This is something you have to keep in mind. It's really helpful all too often to just take one shot and move on. Because by the time you've reloaded, your team will kill them. That's if you are in a platoon or if your teammates actually help you. If you know you can rely on your teammates, then just do that. It's the best way to do. And as you can see here, it helps. Now the KV-3 can't shoot on the guys down there. He takes the wrong road here. Getting a nice shot on him, setting him on fire. Finding the last artillery. I think he already fired a shot because he clearly doesn't try to kill me. There we go. Even got a kill. Now I had to deactivate my mods for this because for some reason the replay won't load otherwise. But I did 4,000 and something damage in this battle. I got my mastery badge for whatever that's worth. I still don't think that's worth anything, but I got it nonetheless. What was the reason for that? I used the strength of this tank. It has a good gun, a really great gun, 105mm with, let's have a look at this. I only fired AP, of course. 320 damage, 198 penetration. Really nice gun. I used that to just obliterate enemies, take a lot of health from them. I used my turret armor to some degree where it was possible. Most of the times you'll only be able to use it in defense. Offense, from time to time, face-hugging enemies works, but not too much, because the tank itself, the hull is pretty high. So even if you face-hug them, they might be able to shoot your upper front plate, which has this weak spot up here. Aside from that, mobility, really nice on this tank. Keep in mind, it's a heavy tank, but it's still pretty fast compared to other tanks. Later heavy tanks mostly. So really what you want to use is the pure combination of firepower, armor, and mobility. And that really helps it when you use platoons that have like the heavy tanks that are similar to that. Use a Churchill Black Prince, for example. And, you can do that, but the Black Prince is a little bit too slow for that. You might want to use a Black Prince, for example, with 2 tank destroyers. Or a tank destroyer and an artillery, or something along these lines. Because Black Prince can take up the front and eat all the shells, while everyone else just snipes away at the enemy. For this tank, you really need a mobile platoon and a really fast team. Well, that's the T29 for you. I like it. It's a really nice tank. I actually think all tier 7 heavies are really nice. Even the AMX M4, even though it's French and has paper armor. And the gun is kinda trolly at times, but oh well. See you next time.